Yeah, so it might, I mean, if it's just me and you, we can keep it short then. I was just looking at BCDA. This thing just it doesn't want to make a decision. It's just like hanging right around VWAP.
And that was a tough
And
one.
I caught a little bit of that first dip at the open and then kind of scaled out from like between 120 and like 126. And then it decided to go all the way up to 140 and halt up. When as soon as it all unhalts, I'm like, okay, this could be a good, nice dip and rip for like continuation, and completely falls through, and I lose like pretty much all the profits that I made on that first dip. Went back to flat. Usually, after I take a big hit like that, I'm like, all right, I got to size back down. But I kept the same size in the first on the resumption, the first dip below the 90 MA on the resumption. Got a quick pop back up from 135 up to about 139, 140, and then I was able to kind of recoup my losses.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Back to green, but that was it for me. I was hoping we get some more action. PXMD had that similar setup. Let me see if can I share my screen here.
Yeah, you should always be able to. I
Yeah, I
finally
got
figured
that.
out the settings.
Let me share that.
Holy crap. I didn't even really look at PXMD much.
So this is what I've been reviewing. I don't know if I can save on recording or just a minute. You can see my screen though, right?
Yeah, I see it.
So this is the setups that have been probably giving the biggest moves in the market last week, and then also today in PXMD, which is that dead cat bounce setup. So after it makes a big move, we're just fading to the lows until at some point, shorts have to take their profits.
Yeah.
And once you see an influx of volume, then you see, shorts who are late to the game, they're cutting their losses if they're in a small loss, or they're cutting break even. Any shorts that say got in, after the big run, maybe the second day. So their average maybe around $4, maybe under a little under $4. So that is also adding to the volume on the day, and then you have bulls just jumping on the momentum with the volume coming in. So all those three um, kind of catalysts are driving the moves off the lows after you see a big move in a stock, in a small cap stock that fades from all the way back from 10 down to $1.75. At some point the shorts have to take profits. And so waiting for that day is definitely a good opportunity, which you can see here on PXMD. I was eyeing this down here at like 260, but I don't know. I was like thinking, okay, this actually could be that dead cat bounce setup. But like we were already at 260. I guess we were sort of bouncing 260, 280. We still had more room to go. Yeah, target would have been break of on the daily. Let's take a look at the daily. Um, yeah, break back probably, yeah, target 350 would probably be your first target. Anything after that would be, trying to look for um trying to look for maybe quick gains, because after you get the dead cat bounce, you don't really get any sort of continuation, as you can see on PXMD.
Yeah, you don't
You
want to stick
squeeze out your
around
shorts
long.
quick, and then it just starts to fade hard. That's what we got on LIFW as well. Back on, was it this day? Uh, the 180. But yeah, you got the dead cat bounce set up here off the support level and sort of here as well. This day was definitely better, but the dead cat bounce set up there, and then also TPST back here as well for the break of 4. This was the only stock in play on this day as well on Thursday. That made about $1.30 per share move off the lows. But it's good to keep those runners on watch for these types of moves off the lows.
Yeah. Yeah, good analysis on those. I also have been what I've been doing actually is on my second screen, I just have at least three former runners and I'll put it on the 15 minute and I'll just track them as well.
Yeah.
a little bit like you've been doing, just to keep an eye on, because we've been having a lot of not like multi-day runners necessarily, but exactly like you said, we get a nice pop and then 6, 7, 8 days later, there's that dead cat bounce. I have noticed similar
Yeah.
things, but you just got to be ready to trade it. And that's what it's a little bit difficult for me, because they usually pop midday or they pop at random times, and I'm usually not online. So even today, PXMD, I wasn't there for this 10:30 a.m. Eastern move.
Yeah. And this is something, again, like the spreads were very wide on this. And, earlier before the volume really started coming in after the first halt, it was still kind of low volume. This is only 160,000 shares. That's, pretty low on the lower end.
Yeah, that's true.
After the market's open, it's on the lower end.
Yeah, if it ticker's only up 200K shares per minute, I usually don't look at it. And then you had like 3-4 minutes where then it went over. So you had to be, and then the move was over. So it's like
the move was over. Yeah.
you had to be ready to go on your watch list. Maybe an alert that went off. Okay, it's back above, I don't know, former highs of yesterday or something like that. It's a little bit of maintenance, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, tricky. I almost had a huge home run trade today,
Really?
but I was already red on the day, and I ended up taking my profits early because of that, just because I was like, this was the trade I got back green on the day, and I usually never look for home run trades, especially if I'm red. At that point, I'm trying to base it and get a little bit of flow back. But I bought this dip. I sized in pretty okay. I started getting red on it, but then it popped up here. I closed some at 26, so like a 5 cents a share profit.
Yeah, so that's like the same trade that I had.
Yeah, almost exactly what you did. It popped up here, but then got slammed back down, and then I closed the rest at like 24. And at 4.5 thousand shares, I had 5.5 thousand. And then it just rips, and I'm like, no, like that was a perfect. I got shaken out like right on the false initial move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dumb. I'm
that
down.
Exact trade on that resumption. You were in at 148, and then you sold at 136. That was the same trade that I lost all my profits on.
Yeah, I bought high on this one. I got stuck on the halt down. Luckily, I was just getting started with entering the trade, and then it halted. And I was like, oh shit, but I only had 500 shares, so I didn't really care. I lost like 60, 70 bucks on it just because of the small size, even though it would have been actually, that was a pretty brutal percent loss. It was like a 10% loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you got stumped on. And then I wanted to buy some of these dips, but somehow I kept missing my fills. And then I got this dip just kind of because it was a bit of like a triple bottom here, here, and here. And then took quick profits, did the same trade here. So I made back like, I don't know, 200 bucks or so, but I don't know. It wasn't, I like this is the money maker, and usually I nail these pre-market, but I was gone. Literally gone. I closed shop around like 7:45 or something, and I didn't notice it got back up because I wasn't checking the Discord. And then I came back, and I was like, oh no, like that was a beautiful run. Beautiful run. We haven't had a pre-market run like that in so long. Oh well.
Sometimes I do a little worse on that type of price action where you gotta be a little bit more patient, and then it's also it only moves up like a penny, and then it pulls back like 2 pennies, and then it moves back up 3 pennies, and back 1 penny.
Oh yeah,
a couple more pennies. You got to be a little bit patient on those, and sometimes I lack that patience, and I'll end up cutting for break even or for a 1 cent loss, and then chasing it back higher to cut it for a 1 cent loss again.
Oh yeah, I have those days too though, like where there's a front side that grinds for like 30, 45 minutes, and I'm like barely green or red on it, and I just did everything wrong. But typically this is like my breadbasket. This is like my stuff that I like to trade. I'm a little bit more patient pre-market. I don't have to worry about halts. I feel like I'm more in the driver's seat. And then like when stuff like this happens, it's just like, it feels like a coin toss to some extent, it just like halts up, goes down. It's just a little bit hectic. Or what was that other ticker that was just, for me, it was just awful today. INVO, and I only traded this one pre-market, I think, or did I trade it after that? This was so hectic. Like it was just like juice, 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 pops
Yeah.
up, flushes down. Um, yeah, I try to trade this pullback here. I was actually pretty conservative on it. I just had really big size. So the fact that I'm only down 260 isn't even that bad. I basically cut my loss as this was selling, and I got a really nice low entry. But again, I just had like a, almost $10,000 position on this one. So yeah, a little bit too big for first trade of the day, I would say, but it looked like it had that potential to, I'll show you. I see this a lot where we have one of these kind of like ascending channels, more or less. And then the last one, there's sometimes like this pullback, and then it has that fake out and then sells off. So I was going for the fake out, but that didn't work.
It did have that run from earlier that's still below the highs of 3. So you still have a little bit of supply overhead. I'm not sure exactly how that chart was. You'd have to go, I think, probably to the 30-day, if you have a 30-day chart.
I just have a daily that goes way back.
Or 90-day. Try to do 90-day. 5-minute 90-day.
I got 5-minute. Let's see. 1-8. Yeah, okay, 90 here.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Day there, yeah. That was the big day on INVO.
Yeah, I almost forgot about this day. Yeah, look how deep it cuts into that 5-minute chart though. Oh, that's I don't remember how I did on this one. I'd have to look it up in my calendar, but yeah, pretty beastly too. Nice. The volume's okay, but could have been maybe a bit more. But oh yeah, we're getting halted like crazy. That was the problem, huh?
Yeah, I think I was right on this stock just because the halts and the dips were the halt down on the dips, they resumed so much lower. And I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was going to back to the, right on the day, but and then I kind of just stopped trading it. But
yeah, this brutal halts.
It's crazy that the size that we're trading is like it's almost embarrassingly small, and it's like I can't get enough solid trades for me to bump it up to over 10K position size, or even like consistently 10K position size, because I don't know, I never know when that A+ setup is coming, and then it does come. I'm undercapitalized on it, and then I'm like, okay, like we're seeing some action, and then the next few trades, like the move is almost pretty much over, and the rest of the setups are C quality, B quality, and it's hard to risk that A quality profits that were so easy to now risk that for a lower quality setup on bigger share size.
Yeah. That's a big problem. There's never that second or third opportunity. Maybe a second one, maybe, but you almost have to nail it right away. That's why with INVO, I just went with $10,000 my first trade, because I was like, after this move, there's not going to be another move. And in a way, I was right, but it was already dead. It was like the move never happened. So
yeah. Same with like BCDA. Like I was, decent shares off the low, but with something like this, I need to be 5K shares per like increment. So like if it's like an A+ setup, I'm hitting the buy button 2 to 3 times. So that's 10 to 15,000 shares. And I'm like a lower quality setup, looking for just a couple cents pop or like off of a dip, maybe only hitting the buy button once. For 5,000 shares, but I was only doing 1 to 2,000 shares per increments, and that's just not enough. And by the time I got that good 7 or 8 cent win on BCDA, we halted up, and then I'm like, okay, now it's starting to move. Maybe I should bump it up to 5,000 shares, and then by the time I did that, flushes right back down, and that's it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Just I mean that's similar to my struggle. I've been. Yeah, just I'll have like a nice $500 day, then a $700 day, and then like a $1,500 red day or something, and it's just like I cannot keep my profits at all. Like at
Yeah.
all right now. And it's getting, I've been basically flat now for I think 3 months, maybe even 4, but it's getting, flat in terms of like maybe $1,000 green month, and then like the next month, like $1,000 red month, so it's just like it's zero progress, and it's very frustrating. I think that's how Danny probably feels roughly right now too, where it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a real grind, and you get a little bit exhausted by it. So you don't even know what to do. It's like, do I just wait till it gets better, or do I have to like do something, totally adjust like my concept of trading? I really don't know myself. I'm just kind of like trying to trade less right now, so I don't get so annoyed at myself, because
Mhm.
I can't spend 3-4 hours a day kind of chopping around, and then at the end of the month I'm red $500. Is just, to me, it's the opportunity cost is like brutal. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's hard for me to justify.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm happy about my position here right now is that I'm actually, right near, I'm right on highs right now on my account. I'm not in a huge drawdown. And I think that's just for me being like super, trading this year, just super scared, like not trying to hit home runs. And, while that it does limit my profits, but in a market like this, that is the only reason why I'm still at the highs of my account and not having massive drawdowns like some other traders. But they obviously, when it's good, like they are, like Danny, when it's good, like he's hitting 5K days. And that's what I'm aspiring to do eventually. But
Yeah.
I just don't think it's my moment right now. I don't think it's my time in this market right now that I am capable to perform in this type of market at that
Yeah.
level. I think I need to wait for a shift in momentum for me to at least initiate cracking those levels that, 1,000, 2,000, $3,000 green days. Because, if I'm going to risk that, obviously, trading at that level for the first time, you're obviously going to be emotionally triggered in your trades. So, I need to give myself room to make mistakes at that level of share size. And for me to make a massive mistake on something like BCDA, and then for the rest of the day, there's no more opportunity. I could be in a drawdown for a couple months because the market's so slow and I don't get that opportunity to make it back. So I think the key for me is just waiting for the market to where I can make mistakes and I can make it back relatively quickly so that I'm not emotionally just drained every single day because I'm trying to just grind back green or trying to recoup losses and going deeper in the red and being frustrated because eventually, so many days of that, like I start to feel like I'm not excited to trade anymore. I'm not excited to
Yeah.
sit down and look at the market because it's just from the frustration and the struggle. And it's just, yeah, it's definitely draining sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you know the day ahead is already going to be a grind, so you're just mentally kind of distancing
Yeah.
yourself from it. That's a little bit what I'm doing right now, because I know it's just going to be a bit of a grind, and I think if I get that great ticker at 7 a.m. or right at the market open, so be it. But I really can't stick around from 7 till 9:30 and just stare at the market and then do the open trading like I used to, because I mean, 9 times out of 10, nothing's going to happen. And you're just going to get really annoyed and start trading bad stuff. And then finally the good ticker comes, but you're already going to be red, or you're just going to make enough green to get back in the green. like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm trying to limit my exposure, like I've been saying, but I think I want to take it even to the next level, really just do the 7 to 7:30, and then again, do like 9:15 to like 10, and then just close up shop. And then if I notice we're in that environment, like you said, where mistakes aren't as punishing and you want to stick around a little bit longer because it would actually be net beneficial, then I don't mind scaling my trading time again. But I've made too many mistakes sitting around looking at having TOS open. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Trading's difficult, man. It tests you, man. It tests you so much.
So much. That's what's so fun about it. But yeah, that's what's so frustrating about it, right? I mean, if it was easy, it'd be great. We'd be all be rich, but I don't think we'd be interested in it very long. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough one.
You gotta
Yeah.
love it. You have to, I don't know, you have to love the, I don't, it's actually, I think the people who love trading are the same types of people who love gambling, but they know that they're overall going to make money in the long run. But I think it's the same, like, dopamine hit of figuring it out, of like nailing a good trade and having that good idea that worked out. Like that dopamine hit just keeps you addicted to the market.
Yeah.
And but just that's just like anything else though. Like if you're, a salesperson, that dopamine hit of finding a good client and nailing that sale, that's also the same dopamine hit that you're going to get from nailing a good trade, or you're selling a house and getting a nice commission. That's the same dopamine hit that you're going to get from nailing a good trade. But yeah, I think it's just like falling in love with the process, and then also getting that positive feedback loop from making good decisions kind of just feedbacks into itself, and then you just feel good about trading.
Yeah. Especially once it gets a little bit nicer, I mean, it was so fun back in when you basically woke up, opened TOS, and you knew there was going to be like a clean 100% plus gapper.
Yeah.
It's just like clockwork.
Yeah.
Woo. But we'll have those days again, and I think now we're putting in the work, and we're probably gonna be able to capitalize on those environments much better.
Yeah. I think, these market environments, trading through these market environments definitely teach you more about risk management than you would just only trading hot markets for sure.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
like we were saying, like the hot markets, you could average down into a losing position and then it curls right back up and you're in the green and you're like, wow, that was a great trade.
I did
And then
everything
after you
right.
do that, there goes your account.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Averaging down right now is oof. There's some moves where there would be like technically three healthy pullbacks, but it just like a straight waterfall. The price action just goes down. If you're not cutting,
Yeah.
man, you could blow up a big account really quick.
Yeah. I think we're gonna hit some massive legs in our profit curve when the market does turn around. I
Yeah,
think we really hit our stride.
I agree. It doesn't even have to be that much. Just it has to just be like just tiny bit better. So
Yeah.
there's actually a nice trade I'll share here on a firm that I did. It's very small profit. I didn't size into it
Uh-huh.
like I should have, but this was one of the top gainers today in terms of large caps. I mean, it is the highest traded ticker right now in terms of dollar volume. And there was kind of like one of those classic, it goes up really fast and starts slowing down. And I kind of assumed it would slow down a little bit. So I went for this initial pullback, got a little bit more on this pullback. I was looking for that flat top break at 26. We never really got it. I felt like the volume was getting weaker and weaker. And on these green candles, it was just tiny volume. So I started closing here. But I just want to share this exact move right here. It was so nice. I wasn't online anymore, but this 1 minute pullback is often what I look for. The 5 minutes coming back up. It's looking really strong here. We have that quick micro pullback. Volume's already slightly on the increasing side again, and then going for
Hmm.
this breakout. I probably would have not held very long because the volume actually ended up not getting super high until right at the end. So that volume action isn't super nice, but I love that little 1 minute pullback. Those are some beautiful entries.
Yeah.
But this was a bit of a grinder ticker. It just had so many false attempts, and that makes sense because like a float is where the market cap is 7.7 billion, float is 300 million time where the shares outstanding. So these are tickers I typically don't trade, but kind of nice price action in a way for a
That's
large cap.
tough for me. I don't think I'd be able to trade that. After, because there's 4 attempts that failed
Yeah,
continuation. I would
it
be I would
was
be shitting bricks.
it was choppy. It was really that one last setup that I didn't go for because I was closed already. But That
Uh,
was that was a nice one. But yeah, I don't know.
Another thing to note is just the importance of being positive when you're not performing or when you had a bad day or on a bad streak. It's so easy to fall into that mindset of just being like feeling hopeless and like that it's never going to turn around and like you just don't care anymore. Once you get into that mindset, just like don't sit down and trade because you will make some stupid decisions. That the whole hopeless and like I don't care anymore mindset, when you sit down to trade, you are going to make some massive mistakes. That is like prime environment for just taking an oversized position and getting super frustrated. So it's really important to stay positive and putting that energy and doubling down into your studies. That's the best thing you could do. Um, yeah, just being positive, thinking of it as terms of market tuition. You spend what 50,000 to 100,000 on a bachelor's degree or more, and whatever you spend, if you're just starting trading, okay, you lose $30,000 to the market. That's market tuition. That's a lot of knowledge you can get from that. But obviously, it's best to keep it as small as possible. But any losses, you should keep it in a positive light. Think of it market tuition. Think of it as a lesson learned. If you're small green, take what you can from that and not, beat yourself up that you should have made more. But,
Yeah.
look at the good setup that you took and how can you size in bigger to that? Or now you know better that, that setup worked out. Maybe you should be more confident in the future. There's a lot of things a lot of traps that you can fall into of just being negative about your performance, but it's good to be positive and then fuel that into your studies.
Yeah, I think that's super well said and articulated. I think where I often make mistakes is exactly that, where I'll have my green trades or I'll be patient and I'll be in the zone, and then I don't know, eventually you get in the mood because maybe you had a few bad trades in a row, and then your P&L goes, because then you
Yeah.
start getting negative into like a negative. I always call it a red state of mind because that's what you start getting. Those are the
Yeah.
results. And yeah, you want to stay in that positive green state of mind. It makes a huge difference. So what I notice is if I do start getting distracted, let's say I need to work on a different project or I'm just having some bad trades, sometimes it really is just best to say, hey, you know what, I'm done for today. Or, if maybe I can come back later today, but like in the current mental state that I'm in, either I'm distracted or I'm have something else in my mind while that's is distracted, or I'm negative, then probably better just to close up shop because you're going to get even more upset on when your next trade's red. Then you're going to get on tilt, and then you're going to have a max loss day. And yeah, like you said earlier, right now it's all about not giving back profits and managing your risk. That's really more the focus in this market as opposed to making profits. And I think if you just manage your risk well, you'll probably be green. I'm definitely not managing my risk nearly as well. And I just keep giving back thousands every month for sometimes no reason. Like I'll take trades like at 10:30 when I should have already been logged off, and I was just sticking around for no reason, and then I get a big flush on. I'm like, well, there we go. It's like why did that happen? I was not in the right state of mind when I was super focused, an hour ago, and I would have never taken that trade an hour ago.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, for me that market exposure has just been killing me. So I got to do what I can at all costs to reduce it for now.
What time does the market open again for you?
It's 3:30 p.m. here. So that's 7. No,
Yeah.
that's 3. Yeah, 3:30 is the 9:30 open. So I'm 6 hours ahead of Eastern Standard. So I'll log in at 1 to see the 7 a.m. open. And then I'll usually close at like 1:30, 1:45, and then I'll come back at 3:30 for the the real open, and then I'll trade. So I'm trying to keep it right now under 2 hours of trading ultimately. But It's
Do
tricky
you
because
do
like today the market decided to do the best move at 8 to 9, so or 8:30
yeah,
to 30.
yeah. Do you do anything before like 1 p.m. that is any draining mentally?
Yeah, quite a bit. That's why I actually like trading in Florida or somewhere in America much more. But
Yeah.
I'm working on a lot of software stuff usually. So I'm pretty like I have a pretty solid morning session. I always wake up pretty early, like around 6:30, 6:45, and then I'll start working or I'll go for a workout and then I'll start working. But ultimately, I already got like a solid 4 or 5 hours of work in, and
Mhm.
then like a workout as well. So like a maybe 45-minute workout. Then I'll have lunch, and then basically trading starts. So I just had like the
Um,
first half of the day already completed. So sometimes I'm already pretty faded by yeah, I mean right now it's 6:30 p.m. so I'm already pretty exhausted at this point. But even when I'm trading and it's like let's say 10:30, that's a.m. Eastern, so the art like technically still often a lot of good moves. It's getting to like 4:30 here. I'm kind of in that like getting a little bit loopy. I definitely
yeah,
need a break. So I often go out for like a 20-minute walk or something between trading sessions just to like get fresh. I know Toby has similar situations because he's basically trading in the middle of the night. I honestly, I don't know how he does it. I don't think I could do that. I would have to pick a different market, pick a different time zone, or pick something different. But I could not trade at like 1 in the morning. No, no, thank you.
no. Yeah, see, I don't know if I could do that because I think that would affect my performance just because I'm most sharp right when I wake up to about 11. So about like the first 3 to 4 hours, I'm the sharpest of the day, and then it starts to fade. But yeah, I think I would be really affected if I was doing an intensive mental workout. I guess working on programming or anything like that, like you said you were doing, that would definitely affect my performance for sure.
Yeah, a lot of those problems from before, this is what I noticed is a big problem is like they're still on your mind. Like let's say you're trying to solve this larger coding issue. So you're still thinking about that. And then sometimes in the middle of trading, you're like, oh, I figured out an idea. And then you want to test it. And then the market's flat. So then you're like, do I now go and work on this other project that I need to work on? And then you start working on it, and then something starts ticking, and then you try to go back and forth. And that's why I'm like, okay, I just need to cut it. Like if I miss it, I miss it, but it's hard to switch back and forth. And then if I leave TOS open, you're always kind of looking at it a little bit, and then you can't really focus on the other project.
Mhm.
So you definitely trip over yourself. So I like to, if I get that 7 to 7:30 move, great. If I miss it, so be it. I got to live my life and do other things. And eventually, I think net that would probably be much better for me, unless it's like one of those 2020 moments. And I say, okay, it's worth putting in 3, 4 hours of trading a day, maybe even 5, because the market is just insane and you could potentially make $1 million this year. But right now, based on our trading styles, it's really not the case.
Yeah.
So there's no point in working
Mhm.
ourselves to the bone.
I remember Ross was saying during 2020 and 2021 that he was he was trading from 4 a.m., which is the beginning of pre-market. Not even think or swim, you can't even trade yet at 4
Yeah.
a.m. You can't trade till 7. He had with light speed, I guess you can start trading at 4 a.m. Eastern time, and he would trade all the way until 9 p.m. at night.
Yeah, I remembered some of
The
his late
stocks are
sessions.
so
That's
crazy.
disgusting.
Every hour there was a new stock going 100%.
Yeah, it was
Or
so good. I should have traded more too back then. I even had long days. I would often trade the afternoons, even do some power hour trading or something. But yeah, my experience back then wasn't so good. I basically had a half a year under my belt of that strategy, what basically Ross was doing, but I had a couple other years of general market trading and other strategies under my belt. So I was able to capitalize on it a bit. And, I made like 70, 80,000, I think in 2020, but I should have, could have, would have, right? So I hope when we get another session like that, it doesn't even have to be like a giant COVID, the whole world gets sick situation. I think it just needs to be like a few months where there's less focus on the macros, and there's just and it's the overall there's more certainty, and then small caps start just popping. I think that we just need like a few months of a little bit more mellow action. I think we might even be getting that. I mean, the SPY might even hit a new all-time high pretty soon here at the rate it's going. It's ridiculous. So we are like 7% away from all-time ever highs on SPY. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think we've already I think now that the market knows the potential that what we experienced in 2020 and 2021, now that we know that it's happened, it's obviously, I think it's going to happen again, and it's going to happen bigger. I think that just because that traders know the possibilities about how high some of these stocks can go, that they're going to be more comfortable holding longer, adding higher, putting more money in. Like if you've never seen a stock go 300% ever, and you're only used to stocks going up 100% at most, every time you're going to sell at 100% or less.
Oh yeah.
Why would you ever hold 300%? It's never happened before. But now that the market knows, traders have experienced it, stocks going 1,000% in a day, from $1 to $20 every single day, a different stock going $1 to $20. It's obviously that more traders are going to be more confident holding for the majority of the move, a longer period in the move, adding more shares, and being more confident.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need trader confidence to be at that level again. And I think, like you said, we all are kind of waiting for that move. And if we see a ticker that's up 300%, it's not the first time we're ever seeing that. So we're not super nervous, and we're ready to trade it up even higher. So we just need a little bit more macro conditions, I think, and then we'll get that beautiful couple weeks or couple months of trading. Right now, it's just, I mean, technically, we had a pretty nice mover today. BCDA just had to kind of be there at the right time. Yeah, but those are just few and far between, and it's a lot of sitting on your hands. That can't be too easy, or else everyone would do it.
That's right. What's your game plan for this rest of the week?
I guess really get good at clicking the exit button on TOS. That's my game plan, because there's so many times I talk myself into, you know what, I'm just going to leave it open. So when someone says this ticker's moving on Discord, I can just quickly check instead of relaunching TOS. But I think relaunching TOS is exactly that friction I need to keep me from doing stupid trades. For now, unfortunately, I wish I was a little bit better at that discipline, but I've made that same mistake now over and over and over and over again. So clearly, I need to add more friction. You don't think that maybe you can keep your Thinkorswim open and kind of just monitor without ever taking a trade, like until, then you could have at least saw, BCDA around 830. I do it sometimes. It's not like I never do it, but more times than not, I'll be like, okay, that's kind of good. And then my problem is what I told you earlier is I got busy again with another project. So I'm like, my brain is split, and I'm not doing really good coding or whatever I have to do. And I'm not doing good trading because I'm kind of thinking about this problem. It's like, I'm so bad at multitasking. Like I need to either be doing that or that, but I can't be doing both. Yeah. Like some people could, like, I remember in high school, some people were able to work, like do their homework while watching TV. Like to me, I couldn't. I was either watching TV or I was doing homework. I would have to leave the room and work somewhere else. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm very one track mind. Yeah. But I think for trading though, you kind of need like a one track mind. You don't want to be you don't want any RAM, any brain RAM. You don't want any of that directed anywhere else.
literally everything. That's why my screen, this is like my main, I'll just show it for a quick sec. This is why like my main screen is just one stock. And then I have my, um, DOS trader right here, but I just look at I only trade one stock at a time. I know a lot of traders have three or four different charts with separate active trader ladders on each chart and trying to trade like 3-4 stocks at once. I can't do that. I'm very one track mind. I got to be focused on one at a time.
Yeah.
And most of the time in most markets, in any one given time, there's only one stock that's giving A+ setups. So
There's
if
usually
BCDA is moving, I just want to have my BCDA up here, everything else on a side monitor. And then if BCDA starts moving, I can look at my side monitor if anything else is moving. And in that case, I can pull up, PXMD, it's breaking out, let's pull it up. And then like now I'm just focused on PXMD. I'm not trading anything else. I'm not working on anything else. And yeah, I think that my best performance is just being one track with trading.
Yeah, I think that's
the game plan moving forward is just taking that one or two good trades and then wrapping it up, not giving back too much off the top.
Yeah. I feel like somebody came out recently with I don't know if it was a social media post or something. Something was getting shared around where it was something along the lines of, if you just were able to keep that extra $100 a day in your trading, and then some statistics behind it. But yeah, let's say it was just $100 a day. That's already a $2,000 a month on top right there. And it seems like such a small amount of money, because I feel like if I'm up 250, I feel like it's almost a wash. Until I'm up $500, I feel like it's not really a green day. So sometimes I'll be up 600-700 and then I'll try to push it for 1,000, and then I end up having like a $200 green day, and that's where I close up shop. So just understanding giving back profits it's a real killer, especially like a max loss day. So
yeah,
I agree.
It's only worth it. Yeah, it's only worth it if the opportunities are good.
Yeah, I'm totally for losing money if the opportunity is right.
Yeah,
but right now I think I'm giving back a lot of profits on really bad opportunities, just because it's a mirage. I'm looking at the market, nothing's happening, and then I start thinking I see things. And then the next day when I review that trade, I'm like, this was a horrible trade. Or even like 20 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, that was a miserable trade. Like had no news. Volume was 0 while I was breaking out, like really stupid stuff that I know I shouldn't be doing. It's only up 20%, or like some really trash ticker. And why am I trading that? So that's where the market exposure is really biting my butt.
Yeah, I like following the 50% rule of, if I'm up green on the day, if I give back half, gotta walk away. No ifs, ands, or buts, especially if there's no opportunities. If there is opportunities at the hot market, then I'll still keep trading.
Yeah.
But yeah, 50% rule is definitely is a hard stop for me, just so I can hold on to some profits. If I worked hard for green on the day, I don't want to go back to red on the day. That's just gonna feel so bad. And I'd rather, walk away while I'm still up if it's a colder market. But
I might have to implement that rule too.
Yeah, that's a good one. You can even go as far as like 20% off the top, just walk.
Yeah, unless it's like a really hot market. Because I have so many days where, let's say I'm up at like 1,000 or something, and I have that boom, big loser, or like I'll give back 20%, but then the next trade I'm already only at 50% of the daily profit. And then I have so many charts like that, and then before you know it, I'm at max loss. It happens so fast, because you're instantly on tilt when you're down 50% from where you were literally like 10 minutes ago. And you're just like, okay, I need to take the next trade to get back to where I was. And that's like, once you have that thought, or like even sometimes it's very subconscious, and you're just slightly on tilt and it doesn't feel like you're having that thought, but you're like, yeah, that 50% rule is really good. I've always thought about it, but I've never actually applied it. But I think if I did, I would have another 10, 15K in the bank right now.
Yeah. You think Danny's trading AIRE? I think he probably is.
He's either trading AIRE or he's at the gym.
Break of 11. I'm done trading, but yeah, I think yeah, my biggest fat losses are big size loss, and then immediately, like just on instinct, because of these stocks are just moving so fast sometimes. Immediately on instinct, double my size, immediately buy right market, and then it dumps even further. That's how I have my blowout days. It's just like I'm not even having any thoughts. I'm just huge loss. All right, immediately double my share size.
Oh, big loss. Let me show you what a real loss looks like. Yeah.
And then I'm double
Dude,
my
yeah,
max loss.
that's what it is. Man, we've been trading for so long, we could even still get on tilt sometimes like that. You just, man, being really aware of that and setting up some systems to reduce the downsides of tilt. Because even like a micro dose of tilt will really throw some damage on you.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, AIRE, red to green.
I see it crawling up. I'm happy we got the chat in, even though it seems like everyone's running around somewhere. Some people are really beat up with the market, so I'm happy we were able to, get our thoughts out a little bit. I think that's really healthy. High RE on the daily is just I don't even know what it is. My God.
Wow, what the heck is going on here? $575. You think it actually went all the way up there?
I don't know. I don't even see a reverse split there, but there must have
Somebody
been
got filled.
there must have been something, or I don't know. It could have IPO'd at like $18. That actually would make sense. I don't know. See, when
This could have a lot of upside.
yeah, or a lot of people that are happy it's popping so they can sell the rest of their what's it called, bags.
Big fat bags. Let's see.
I like tickers that are over the 180 SMA, where the bag holders are, where most people are green on the ticker. I think those tickers do better. You don't have people dumping into every little pop.
Well, I made a move from what, 5 to 17, 250%.
It's not nothing.
It
ain't nothing.
20-day. Let's look at 10-day. So they got some resistance. You're on like 17. There's no news on it. It could just be some profit taking from the short side.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah, that's high risk.
But it is trying. Who knows? A lot of desperate people probably trying to trade it. It's got okay volume.
Yeah, that's all I had. That's all pretty much I had to date today. Just kind of same thing as last week.
Yeah.
Not trying to stay out of a drawdown. That's it.
Yeah, don't dig an unnecessary hole. I agree. Yeah. All right, then. I guess we'll be back at the grind tomorrow. Hopefully we get another decent ticker. I would love that. And hopefully it pops when I'm online. But if not, so be it.
Yeah. Join the anyone who's watching, join the Discord. You guys can sign up for a TradeJournal, and you guys can get access to the Discord community. A bunch of profitable traders. We'll definitely take you under our wing, and we'll show you a couple of the basic strategies that make money in the markets. You guys can check that out on TradeJournal.co. You guys can sign up.
We got the Discord login now too. And hopefully we're going to have some more integrations. I'm working on some broker API imports. So hopefully we'll have some progress there by the end of this month. We'll see. That's a little bit of a big project I've been working on. Make everything a little bit more fluid. And then we'll get more stats going. All right. Take care, Tom. Good chatting.
All right. Yeah, all right. Take it easy.
See you, man.